Okay, let's have a look at this one from the Junior Cert 2019 paper. It was question 4. It was a financial type maths one. So part of that arithmetic chapter. So A, Katie has a gross annual income of 52,460. 8.5% of this is deducted in pension contributions. The amount that is left is Katie's taxable income. Work out Katie's taxable income after the pension contributions have been deducted. Okay, so after these deductions have been deducted, okay, so 8.5% is pension contributions. So I have to work out, well, what is that in money? It's 8.5% of her wages. So what is that in money? Okay, so to get a percentage, there's loads of ways. 52,000 460 divided by 100 will give you 1%. And then multiplying that by 8.5 gives you 8.5%. So let me do that. So I am getting 4, 4, 5, 9, 10. So €4,459.10 as the amount that's going to be deducted for her pension contributions. So therefore her taxable income is 52,460. Take away that 4,459.10. So 52,460 minus that is 48,000 euros and 90 cents. Okay, there's loads of different ways of getting percentages. Okay, you don't have to do it the way I did it there. You could go 52460 multiplied by 0.085, and 0.85 is 8.5% as a decimal. Okay, and you'll get 445910 for that as well. So that's another way of doing it. On your calculator, you could go 8.5% multiplied by 52460 as well, and you'll get 445910. So your calculator is programmed that when you put in this percentage sign here, it does this divide by 100 for you. Okay, so that's why these two methods are the same thing. Okay, they are 8.5 multiplied by 52,460 divided by 100. Okay, so however you do percentages, do it that way. I suppose the traditional way, divide by 100 to give you 1% and multiply by 8.5. So that's her taxable income. Katie pays income tax on her taxable income at a rate of 20% on the first 34,000 and 40% on the balance. She has annual tax credits of 4,200. Work out Katie's net income after income tax has been deducted. So in income tax, income tax in Ireland fully depends on how much you earn. There's two rates of taxes in Ireland. There's the standard rate of tax and there's what's called the higher rate of tax. Okay, if you are on something like the minimum wage, you won't pay a higher rate of tax. Okay, so you have to be on much larger wages to pay the higher rate of tax. Okay, so it's designed that you pay, so if I could draw a little diagram here, and we'd say this is your wages, that's €0. In this question, up to 34,000 euros, you pay 20% tax. And then anything greater than that, and only from 34,000 up, do you pay 40% of tax. Okay, so it's not that you pay 40% tax on all of your wages, you just pay 40% on anything above 34,000. So for people who earn bigger amounts of money, such as Katie here, she pays, her taxable income is 48,000. £34,000.90. So her tax is made up of 20% of 34,000 and 40% of the remainder. So she's two pieces to her income tax. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so the first part is we take the 34,000, we work out this piece of her tax. So we take 34,000 and we get 20% of it. So divide by 100, multiply by 20. Let me just do that. 240 multiply by 20. So I'm getting €6,800 for that. So that's the first piece of her tax bill. Okay, the second piece is 40% of the balance. Okay, and you can see that written here, or the remainder, it's often described as that too. So I need to work out what the balance is. Well, her taxable income was $48,090. We knew that from the previous question, minus the 34,000 that she has already paid tax on. So she's already paid tax on that 34,000. So we're not going to tax her again on that 34. We're just going to tax it on 34, 44, the 14,000 or thereabouts. That's between 34 and 48. So 48,090 minus that 34,000. And it works out at $14,090. Okay, so that's in effect this balance that they're talking about. Okay, so let's get 40% of that. So 14,090 divided by 100 and multiplied by 40. And I am getting 5,636 cents for that. So €5,600 and 36 cents. So that's in effect the second part of her tax. Okay, so let's work out how much tax she pays. So tax, or maybe I'd call it total tax, is 6,800 with the number 1 there written beside it, plus that 5,600. Let's add them together. And I'm getting 12,400 euros and 36 cents. Okay, so that's also called total tax, if I could call it gross tax. Okay, and it's the tax you could pay before you take away the tax credits. So what are these tax credits? Well, they're credits or money the government says you don't have to pay this much of your tax. Okay, why is that? Well, everybody gets tax credits. You get extra tax credits then if you have a mortgage or if you're a carer caring for an elderly or a sick person or a less abled person. You might get tax credits for that. You might get tax credits if you have children and so on and so forth. So everybody's tax credits tends to be a little bit different. So you take them away, and this is what's called the income tax equation. Your tax payable is your gross tax minus your tax credits. Okay, so our gross tax, which is your total tax, is 12,436 minus those tax credits that they gave in the question. Okay, and they have to give you them. That's the only way you have of knowing what they are. And I am getting 820036. So that's how much tax has to be paid by Katie. So that goes off to the government, and it pays the teachers, it pays the nurses, it pays to make the roads, and so on and so forth. Okay, so at this stage you could be asked two questions. You could be asked for tax payable, or you could be asked for her net income. Okay, and you can see it's net income in this one. So your net income, which is also called your take-home pay, is the amount you earned excuse me, 48,000,90, take away 8,236. So 48,090 minus that, and I get 39,854. Okay, so that is what we call net income. Okay, so what has happened so far in this question? Well, a certain amount of money has been taken out of our wages for pension contributions, and a further amount of money has been taken out of our wages for income tax. Okay, and this is what happens in real life. Okay, so that's her take-home pay. So not the 52,000 we started off with, but she's down to 39,000. Okay, part B then. So Katie got a credit card 3 months ago, got a credit card bill 3 months ago for 420 euros. The interest rate on her credit card is 2% per month, compounded monthly. She has not paid off any of her bill. Work out what her bill is now. Give your answer in euro, correct the nearest cent. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do this question. Let me see. Let me go to my financial maths page in my log tables. It's towards the end. Oh, it's highlighted for me. Okay, so the pink one there is compound interest. So when you see that word compounded or compound interest in your question, think of this formula. F is equal to P times 1 plus I to the power of T. Okay, so F is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of T. Okay, this is what we call the final amount. This is what's called the principal sum. In other words, it's what you start off with. T is time, and I is your interest rate in decimal. So not in percentage, but in decimal. Okay, and you don't have to remember that. It's all here. You just have to remember that principal, that's a financial word for the starting amount. And then up here you can see T is time and I is your interest rate as a decimal. Okay, so the long way, if I can call it that. Okay, so she got a credit card bill 3 months ago for 420, and she's going to be charged 2% per month interest. Okay, so I take that, so let me call it month 1. I take that 420 euros, I divide it by 100, and I multiply by 2. So in other words, I'm getting 2% of it. And I get for that €8.40. Okay, so at the end of month 1, you have 420 euros, which was your starting bill, plus the 840 that the bank are going to charge you interest. So you're up to 428.40 after month 1. Okay, so compounded then means that in month 2, you don't start off with 420 euros again. You start off with the 420 plus the interest that it earned in the in the first month. So 428.40 is what I start off month 2 with, and I get 2% of that. So divide him by 100 and multiply him by 2. So my interest in this month is going to be a little bit more because, of course, you started off with a bigger amount. So it's a little bit more, okay? And then you're going to add that on to what you started that month with. So 428.40. And you're getting 436 0.968. So in money, you round to 2 places of decimal. So 0.97. Okay, so then after month 3, okay, well, we started at 436.97. We add on 2% again. So my interest this time is €8.74. I add that on to what I started the month with, 436.97. And I'm getting 445.71. 0.70936 is what I have here, so round it. So work out her bill now. So her bill now, because it's after 3 months, her bill now equals €445.71. Okay, that's the long way of doing it, and absolutely nothing wrong with doing it that way. Okay, is there a shorter way? Yes, there is. Okay, and it's using this formula here. So my final amount, which is the final amount that I'm going to end up with, okay, just get us a color, F is equal to P times 1 plus I to the power of T. So the final amount is what I'm going to end up with after the 3 months. The principal amount is what I started with, which was €420. 1 plus, no, it's not 2%, okay? It's 2% as a decimal, okay? So 2% as a decimal, percent is 100. You can just divide by 100 if you wish, but it's 0.02. And then T is the time. So because our interest rate is in months, it's perfectly fine to put 3 months there. And you put all that into the calculator to the power of 3. And I'm getting 445.707 again, or 0.71. So the exact same answer as I got over here. Okay, so it's the same marks no matter which way you get it. It's whichever way makes sense to you. Okay, and then the last part in this question was Katie bought a motorcycle last year. Since she bought it, the motorbike lost 10% of its value. The value of the motorbike is now $12,150. Work out the value of the motorbike when Katie bought it. Okay, so again, I have a diagram for this that I tend to use. And it's just boxes. Okay, so in this one, I would say when she bought it. So this is the current price, and you can change the wording in these boxes to be anything she wanted. The current price and the original price. So the original is always 100%, okay? It's what you start off with. So then what happens on this transition from the original price to the current price? Does it add on a percentage? Does it lose the percentage? So on and so forth. So this lost 10%. So we have minus 10% happening along the way. Okay, so then I say, well, what percentage so are we currently at? Well, it's 100% minus 10%. So the current value is only worth 90% of the original. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I do percentages on the top. And then on the bottom, I put the money part. So the value of the motorbike now is 12,150. And you figure out which of these 3 locations does that go. Well, the motorbike now is 12,150. Work out the motorbike when Katie first bought it. So we need that value. So if you remember when I was always getting percentages, I always divide by 100 and multiply by what I need. Okay, and that's because this value here, 420, was the 100% value. What's different about this question? Well, the 12,150 isn't the 100% value, it's the 90% value. So what you do is you divide 12,150 by its percentage, and that'll give you 1%. Okay, not by 100 in this case, because it's not a 100% number. Okay, and this 135% is equivalent to 1%. Okay, just the same as when I divided by 100 in each of these, this was actually working out the 1% value. And then I multiplied by 2 to give me the 2% that I wanted. So this is the 1%. So then I'm looking for the original price, which is the 100% number. So I'm going to multiply him by 100 in this case to give me the original 100% number. And you can see it's 13,500 euros. So that was the original price of that motorbike.